Hi everyone, my name is Stuart and today I'm going to take you on a journey to the future. Now I'm an American and I've lived here in Estonia for 22 years. Now I know a lot of you might not know where Estonia is. Don't worry, it's a common problem with a very easy solution. Just remember that Estonia is right next to Latvia. That simple. Now I've lived here for so long and I'm still reminded on a constant daily basis how digitally advanced this country is. I think it's probably by far the most advanced country in the world with digital technology. For example, NATO, the NATO Cyber Defense Force is headquartered here in Estonia, and the Estonian military regularly advises the US military on cyber defense protocols. It's simply amazing. The government is paper-free, citizens have access to all sorts of portals, you can refresh prescriptions online without having to actually get a paper from your doctor or anything like that. It's simply amazing. Now, I am in, the whole country is so small that it would basically fit inside one of the larger Walmart box stores. Still, the country is still divided into certain sections. We are in southern Estonia right now in a town called Viljandi at Cleveron headquarters. Now, I didn't know this, but Cleveron has been a fairly major part of my life for more than a decade. When I go shopping at the grocery store, I don't like to stand in line so I can pre-order things. All I have to do is just go scan my phone or something. If I pick up mail, I don't have to wait at the post office for 45 minutes. I just enter a PIN code on a little pad and the door opens, I take my package and then I leave. It has solved so many problems in my life. It has streamlined everything basically. Now, what I didn't know was that all of this technology that has changed the retail industry, parcel industry, everything, I didn't know that it was all made right here by Cleveron. But enough about what I've talked about today. I want to talk to you about how Cleveron has their BOPIS technology. It's going to change the retail industry forever. So let's talk to our first guest, the COO of Cleveron, Mihkel. Hello, Mihkel. Nice to meet you.
Hi, Stuart.
So what can you tell us about Cleveron? What is this place?
In Cleveron, we develop technology, state-of-the-art technology for e-commerce sector. So there are all these parcels going around, and we need to find a way how to hand them over. We have the hardware, we have the software, we have the partners around the world who allow us to set up this incredible technology and use it for the benefits of yourself and I.
Well, I'm certainly a big fan. Can you tell us what to expect from our show tonight?
There will be a couple of different things. There will be product demos, there will be discussion rounds, we talk about the challenges of this industry, and there will be a sneak peek of our newest products coming out, and in the end of the day you'll meet quite a number of interesting people and get to know what they think about the industry, where it's going, and what's the future will be like.
Sounds very exciting. I know I can't wait to see some of this stuff, to see all of it, to be honest. Let's get started though. Let's go to our first destination, the demo department. So here we are in the demo area, and I want to find out more about this 400 series. Are you Rasmus?
I am.
Hi, I'm Stuart.
Nice
to meet you. What can you tell me about these robots?
Oh man, we can tell you a lot. We've been developing those robots before UK was still in European Union, so there's a lot to tell you about the series.
Okay. How can this help? Let's say that I'm in the retail business and I'm worth billions, but I want to be a trillionaire. Can this robot help me do that?
Do you want to become a trillionaire without robbing a bank?
Of course.
Yeah. Well, in that case, these robots will get you far along. Today already the millennials and the new generations are taking half the shopping to the website.
Right.
You've done some online shopping yourself?
Of course, it's Estonia.
Sure. So you can think about your last experience when you went to some store or post office to pick it up, and I'll give you a chance to compare it without explaining it.
Had to wait in line for 45 minutes, yeah.
Sure. Are you the Android guy or Apple guy?
Definitely Apple.
Apple?
Yeah.
All right, so you should have an Apple product here. You can go there, choose the language you would like, scan it, and see how it gets you your package.
Just scan it? It's that simple?
Should be. Let's try it out. I'll do it here.
Let's see what happens. British or US English? US.
Which one is better for you?
Jamaican. Scan. and let's see what happens.
I hope it brings something to.
An iPhone.
I got an Android.
This is better.
Yeah, I bet. But this was one package, right?
Right.
If you're a store owner, your store is going to look like something with this, a lot of packages coming in every day.
Yeah.
This was like 10 seconds. How long do you think you would need to organize 100 or 200 packages?
I would say probably a couple of days.
Yeah, imagine 500, right?
Right.
Want to see what's the difference here?
Yes.
With this one? You can step there. Let's put the phones away. And let's try out if there is anything different in the process with this one. You can put the phones away, and we can test this one out. The only idea is that the 400 series has different purposes all across the fleet. So, for example, this is the one you want to put 500 packages in. If you have 100 packages every day, you can go on this side of the lake. We can put the next one. So if your store has those packages coming in every day, I bet your employees want to earn some money.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. How much would they earn in one day?
I don't know, 100?
Yeah, and next year a little bit more?
Yeah, they want to raise, there's inflation.
Sure. So if you take like 1 year, let's say, if you add the tax, that would be what, 30, 50,000?
30, something like, yeah.
Yeah. And for this one, how much have you put in so far? Like 10 packages?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, I think we can finish.
Okay.
I guess the point goes along. The idea is that this was like
About a minute?
2 minutes. That was 10 packages. So if you had your store and you had those 100 packages or 200, that would be 10.
So it's
20.
that fast?
Yeah.
And plus, it doesn't have all the expenses of salaries and stuff.
Yeah, you don't have to have the salary negotiations every year. And if you have a little bit smaller store in the countryside, you can have something from this side.
Okay.
You can have something for the outside, something for the inside. If you're going to have a huge mall, you can have this one expanded all the way. And I'm not even getting into the cool software stuff we have inside.
I want to know about that. But, well, Rasmus, thank you very much. And let's go see if our audience has sent any questions yet. Thank you. And here we are back on the main stage. Rasmus, thank you very much for the demo. We already have some questions then. This is our question and answer session. The first question is, how are parcel robots different from lockers?
Well, as you saw, the speed would be the first one. If you're considering the experience for the end customers as well, going from one end of the locker to other one, just using one central console. You can also have those robotic feeling. You can have also for the stores, you can definitely expand them behind the walls. You can make them more custom, and you can use them for a long time.
Okay, good. The next question is, what is the maximum number of parcels that can go into one robot?
Well, this is where the 400 series comes in. We will start off with 100 or 200 packages. And if you have small packages and big machine, you can go up to like 3,500.
Okay. Now, the next question is, can I integrate the machine into my existing software platform?
I would really hope so. So far, all of the pilots, all of the customers who have been rolling out with wider fleet we've been able to integrate. So I don't think there's any issues there.
So that whole process has been absolutely seamless.
Yes, for the customers, for the stores, we will do the work beforehand, and when the store is ready to go live, everything is set.
Okay. Is there a minimum or maximum size requirement for the parcels?
The parcels, yes. So if you have the parcel machine by itself, the packages that go in are 400 wide, 400 high, and 600 millimeters long. This is the maximum. But if you have in those cases where you have some odd number of packages a little bit bigger, you can get our locker set next to the machine. You can control everything from the central robotic console, and you can put those bigger items next to them. So you can get 5 items, get 4 of them from the robot, and 1 of them from the locker.
Okay, our next question is something I wanted to ask earlier, to be honest. What is the life cycle of one of these robots?
Well, the life cycle is expected to be longer than we have been testing them on field. All of the stress testing is done here behind those walls. We have been reaching about 10 years in the factory, but again, as the market is only like 5, 6, 7 years old, I cannot give you the feedback about 10 years on the field.
But so far they seem pretty durable.
Yeah. The important thing is the maintenance. Same as your car needs regular maintenance, same with the robots. Once a year and you're good to go.
Okay, our next question is if you have approximately 60 parcels on average in a day, which would be the ideal product for that?
Well, I would start off with 403. That was the middle one that you got the iPhone from.
I like that machine.
Yeah. Because of the iPhone.
Yes.
But you can choose actually between the 403 and the 401. Now more comes into your ideas of integration, how you want to show the machine inside of the store. Do you want to stand out like the tower? Do you want to put it in a corner and have a seamless robot there? It's kind of up to you, but you can then have later on a bigger robot to add on.
Okay. One other question is, how are these installed? How easy is it to install them?
It comes a little bit down to the size of the machine. So you'll have the big 402, which is, of course, a little bit more tricky one. But we will start off with 1 to 2 days of installation, going up to 3 or 4 days. We've been also doing really tricky locations in the Central Europe where there's old buildings. You have to have special elevators made to get all the parts to the 3rd floor. We've been doing it all. So it comes down to the location, but so far we have found a way.
Oh, it sounds like everything is working out. We have another question. Can you have multiple guest interfaces in one machine?
Guest interfaces?
Yes.
I assume they are talking about consoles that you're operating in and out.
I would assume so, yes.
Packages off. We do have those developments in the backlog. So far, most of the cases that we have been installing the machines, they've been fine with one, but the question has been raised a couple of times. So we have that in the backlog, made like a pre-development. So basically now should come the first client who asked the question, come to us, give us the real store, the real location, and we can start preparing the first pilot, the first prototype.
Okay, one final question, and then it's time to end the segment.
Gotcha.
Basically, we have established that these are very durable machines or very durable robots. But with any machine, we're going to expect some sort of breakdown. How often does this happen in testing? Or does it happen?
In testing, a lot less. When we are doing different views of the uptime of our robots, different European section, American section, the uptime is usually between 99.9% and 100%.
That's impressive.
Yeah, but it comes down to this. In the factory, everything is done correctly by the maintenance guys who are doing the maintenance all the time, and they're doing the insertions really correctly. We have some guidelines, but sometimes in real life things go wrong. Packages get thrown a little bit too far, and this is usually when the
Packages get thrown too far.
Yeah. Good throwing hand. So this is usually what happens. But the good side is that 87% this year, 87% of the problems are solved remotely in our remote support office. So yes. Quite good.
Okay, well, that's our time for this segment. Rasmus, thank you very much.
Thank you, mate.
And let's go check out the Cleveron Academy. Hi, are you Lido?
Hi, my name is Lido.
Okay, is this the Cleveron Academy?
Yes, of course.
So you teach young people to develop robots here?
Yes, their main goal is develop self-driving parcel robot. And this is where we are practicing. This is very unique academy because half of the week they have theory subjects and the second half of the week they have practice here. So everything you see here is things they need to develop their own robots.
Yeah, this looks awesome. I love Legos.
They're much more than Legos.
So out of every 100 applicants for the Cleveron Academy, apparently only 20% actually get selected. They have pretty high standards here. I'd like to talk to a few of them now. Excuse me, guys, can I interrupt you for a second?
Absolutely.
How did you find out about this program?
Mostly for me, it was through Facebook ads.
Facebook ads?
Yeah.
Okay, what about you? Was it the same?
No, for me, my school teacher told me about a wonderful opportunity here.
Okay, and how do you like it here? Is it interesting, fun, difficult?
Yeah, it's like your robotics class all the time. So it's if you like robotics, it's always fun.
What do you hope to do in the future?
Well, the same thing what I'm doing right here, developing self-driving vehicles.
So you've got your career all planned out?
Yes.
That sounds wonderful. Sounds wonderful. I wish I had the forethought to do something like that at your age as well. Are there any funny stories you'd like to tell me about working here?
We have to speak with our management first.
Perfect answer.
Yeah.
Thank you. Now we're back on the main stage again for our panel discussion. I'd like to introduce the first person who will appear on the screen in just a moment. His name is Dr. Ramesh Ratan. He is the chairman of Ratan's LLC, a board member of Home Valet. He has been an executive at AT&T Bell Labs. The list just goes on and on, so I'll let him talk more about himself. Ramesh, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, thanks.
Can you tell us where you are?
Happy to have. I'm in Durham, North Carolina, about 100 miles from Hurricane Zeta that's going up the center of the country.
Durham, North Carolina, you said?
Yes.
Okay. Would you like to add anything to about your biography that I skipped over? Because it's such a long, distinguished biography you have.
I think the most recent thing is I was the CEO and vice chairman of Bell & Howell, which is a partner of Cleveron, which helped launch Focus in North America and the U.S. in particular. Before that, I was the president of Pitney Bowes DMT. I've had a number of different jobs, but I would say the last 15 years or so, I've focused on things relating to moving materials through supply chain, and in particular the last mile, which is why our partnership with Cleveron is very important.
Okay, that's very good. And our next distinguished guest, he will appear on the screen behind me. His name is Indrek Olup. He is basically a co-founder and the head of business development at Cleveron. He is the representative of this company on the US market. Indrek, how are you?
Hello. Good evening, everybody.
And can you tell us where you're calling
viewers.
in from?
Yeah, I was a bit late, so I didn't get to run the last 100 meters, so I'm on the second floor here. Not far
you're
away,
upstairs.
I'm on time on screen here, so that's the most important.
Nobody tells me these things. No, I'm kidding. Okay, so if I'm not mistaken, you two gentlemen have known each other for quite some time. You're quite good friends, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I have to give a few other people for introducing us. In particular, when I was running Bell & Howell, we were looking for a solution for the last mile, and one of our young associates, Nara Abazadeh, actually was doing homework to figure out who to partner with. And she looked at all the companies and chose Cleveron as having not just the best quality, the best product, the best technology, the best innovation, but also the best people. And then she introduced me to Indrek, and we've been friends ever since.
I don't think I've ever heard so many positive words about an Estonian before. This is amazing. I'm just kidding. Okay, is there anything you'd like to add, Indrek, before we get into the discussion?
Yes, Ramesh really has been the really great support for us professionally, but then we have really done on top of the working. We have played golf, and I have been able to sing him birthday song and etc. So
Oh, you sing to him
Yes.
remotely.
Yes.
Would you like to demonstrate this now?
Let's do it later.
Okay.
Let's end it. Let's end with a tune.
Indrek, I have to admit that I'm pretty relieved. Okay.
You haven't heard me yet, so.
I have a good imagination. All right. I think we have a question that's already come up. Do you think home deliveries will ever be profitable? Who would like to tackle this one?
I can take that one. Absolutely. By the way, let me start by saying that home deliveries today are very challenging for a couple of reasons. One is most of the solutions for home delivery require the consumer to have a time slot that they have picked. Or, 20% of home deliveries get wasted or returned to the store. It's a mess, and none of these guys is making money. So the reason I believe it's going to be profitable is why I've become a member of the advisory board of this company called Home Valet, which is really taking technology like Cleveron to smart lockers and putting them at the home. So this eliminates the need for picking a time slot. It eliminates, the need for it allows the stores to actually take the online orders and optimize the delivery route. So their profits are going to go up and the costs are going to go down. And so I really believe home delivery is going to become profitable.
Okay. Do you have a response to this?
Comments on? Yes, I would add a comment that I agree with Ramesh, but it's more like the question is that can classic home delivery format, the way it's done today, can it keep up with the needs of this growing market of e-commerce purchase volumes? So, and can it do it, let's say, with a continuous level of value to the end users, and also can it be done continuously with sustainability? So, can you imagine? I don't know, with this growing volume, you continue to have big trucks running around in suburban area, and wasting time on looking for customers. New ways need to come to the market. That's the thing here.
Okay, Ramesh, would you like to add anything?
I actually, agree with Indrek in the sense that the infrastructure for home delivery depends so much on this last mile trucks running through neighborhoods, etc., that in itself is not sustainable. So they're going to be looking for other solutions. The concept of having, especially when you look at what is growing, e-commerce is growing tremendously, and groceries and food as part of e-commerce have been growing incredibly faster. I think retail was growing at 5% a year forever. E-commerce was growing at about 15% a year. Groceries was growing at about 35% a year. Because of the COVID pandemic, e-commerce is now growing at about 35-40% a year, and groceries is growing at about 80% a year. So you need what I would call chain compliance at the doorstep. You can't just expect the delivery guy to drop all the food on your doorstep and go and then expect the customer to feel good about it. So I think the technology needs to kind of improve. Home Valet or smart lockers at the doorstep is one technology. And the ability to kind of deliver to those boxes through, I think you saw the little robot that you rode, whether it's autonomous robots that can actually serve these devices are going to become important. Though I still expect that to take some time before it becomes culturally acceptable.
Okay. One other thing that I'd like to ask a question about myself is I've always heard about problems in America, specifically with retail. Home delivery, the delivery person just leaves the parcel on the front porch or the front steps of somebody's home, and anybody can come by at any time and pick it up because, these delivery people work during the day. The people who live there, they also work during the day. So that leaves a window of 8 hours when their purchase can just be stolen from their kind neighbors. Does this happen with...
You're absolutely right. We call them porch pirates. And as a matter of fact, one of the original concepts and driving needs that the team at Home Valet was working on was trying to solve this porch piracy problem. And of course, we quickly realized that if you add temperature controls and cold chain compliance to these lockers, you solve not just the porch piracy problem, but the ability to deliver stuff that is safe, secure, and will stay fresh, especially like groceries, for a long time. You can deliver medicines, you can deliver alcohol. pretty much everything that is growing when you look at e-commerce in terms of the categories that are becoming popular.
So basically, you could order ice cream or vodka and pick it up at a grocery parcel, and it's already in the freezer compartment. You can get both at once to make really nice cocktails
I
at home.
learned in Estonia that you have to keep your vodka in the freezer.
Oh, that's how we do it in Estonia. Yes. Okay. Indrek, you sound like you want to say something.
Yeah, I wanted to add that no, I mean, home delivery as a, let's say, or home address as a, let's say, handover point or remains to be viable in the sense that there always, even you could say that nowadays the number of people working from home still growing, but always going to be the people like myself nowadays. I've injured my Achilles. I've stayed at home, worked from home for last 3 weeks, and so it really has become important for me, myself as well, that to really receive items that I have ordered, whether it's grocery or general merchandise, properly at home address. But actually, the landscape is much broader. That home address is going to be there, but the more viable, let's say, theme according to which this whole landscape needs to be kind of developed. And it's a recommendation also to all retailers is that people want to have, let's say, continue to increasingly they value their free time and much more and more every day.
Okay.
And they want to kind of, let's say, today I prefer to pick up my orders from the location which is nearest to my work address. Tomorrow I want to pick it up for nearest to my kindergarten.
Is it possible to decide on the delivery address for which parcel machine you want to go to?
Exactly. Towards that type of power, this landscape needs to move. That people will be having more power to kind of direct the let's say, the shipments that are moving towards them. So that on the weekend, if I see that over the weekend I should be receiving a couple of items from or books, I would be able to direct those books to be shipped and for me to pick it up them nearest to my summer cottage, for example. That's the power.
We have another question from a viewer. Before that, I will say that most people in America do not have a summer cottage, like just regular average people. That's strictly like an Estonian thing, a Finnish thing. We have a question from a viewer. So we've adopted all these new solutions during the pandemic that retailers are doing. For example, these parcel machines. Do you think that this is going to be sustainable in the long run as well? Is this just a temporary fad, or is this going to be the new norm?
I believe that yes, definitely, pandemic has given a certain boost to this, let's say, evolution of this purchase habit. But actually, this, I think that the figures that already during the previous answer Ramesh was giving also that I believe that it was estimated already pre-pandemic that it's going to be continue to grow for the next year. For the next 5 years, the e-commerce volumes will continue to grow on the level of 15% per year. So, I mean, I think that at least countries where we are active, we are seeing that this pandemic is only going to boost it. So definitely these solutions, if you talk about solutions, then to be sustainable, then robotics is the only way. If you are using lockers, then lockers cannot be scaled up in a sustainable way.
15% a year.
To keep up with, let's say, servicing all the customers that come to pick up the parcel in the same level. But robotics enables that.
Okay, Ramesh, do you agree, disagree?
I actually agree, but I also want to say one thing, and I think the question was, will they retain these habits? Absolutely. As a matter of fact, if you go back to the Spanish flu, which was 1918, 1920, and what happened after that, especially the change in the U.S. society, but also in Europe, we had something called the Roaring 20. So for a little bit after the pandemic gets under control, people will kind of go crazy thinking everything's going to go back to normal, they're going to spend their money, etc. But then what happens is you take a completely different trajectory. And so I'll give you examples. So in our own family, we now have Friday Zoom family calls with my brother in India, my brother in Dubai, my sister in Australia, my niece in Seattle. And we haven't seen all of these guys for years, and we suddenly now have a habit of connecting with them on video on a regular basis. We have telemedicine. In our own neighborhood, because of COVID, now the doctors are giving video visits. My own store here, Walmart, used to have special visit hours for seniors, but also more and more of your purchase with Walmart here is being done online. And as a matter of fact, I think companies like Walmart and their competitors like Amazon and Kroger are going to have to adapt to the fact that consumers and the way they think about shopping, the way they think about retail is going to change because of this experience of just the last 6 months. They are going to be much more careful about where they go, what kind of groups they hang out with, when they go into a store, more online. I think Indrek is absolutely. This whole concept of omni-channel, people have been talking omni-channel for 15 years. In the last 6 months, omni-channel has become so important. Consumers basically, and it's not just shopping or not just communication. They want to shop anywhere, anytime, the way they want. They want to be marketed to. They want to have deliveries done anywhere, anytime. They want to be able to send refunds, to get their refunds and send returns anytime, anywhere. So I may buy in the store, and I may want your delivery guy to come and pick it up on my doorstep and return it. I want my refund right away. So consumers have always hated to wait in line. They want things immediately, and speed has always been important. And the whole concept of this coronavirus, COVID pandemic impact on society, not just in the US, but worldwide, is kind of heightening this concept of an omni-channel consumer using more and more technology in person, online, on a smartphone, on the road, etc.
Well, Ramesh, I want to thank you for mentioning one thing that's actually very interesting, a comparison or an example about Estonia. You mentioned doctors making remote visits. This is something that we call telemedicine, and it's been going on for years here in Estonia. And it works successfully. And so the thing that I want to bring out is that what these far-fetched plans that sound so futuristic that Estonians actually make them work, and others laugh at them, and then suddenly like, hey, that's not such a bad idea. So I kind of see like these robot delivery parcel machines. It's the same thing. Like Estonians make it. It's a great idea. It's going to spread everywhere. I just wanted to mention that. So we have another question.
Yes. That was actually one of the reasons we also chose to partner with Cleveron was because of Estonia and the culture of technology there. And I have to tell you, besides the fact that it's a great, very high-tech culture, I also chose to become an Estonian e-resident. And Indrek knows that. He supported me when I did that years ago. But to become an e-resident in Estonia, I had to travel to Tallinn and sit in front of this police lady in person who could look at my face and certify that it was me before she gave me my e-residency. So that's omni-channel, where you have to be online and in person.
That sounds like somewhat of a contradiction, but okay. We have a question from another viewer. What is next for Bopus?
Okay. Let's see. In order to answer the question of what is next for Bopus, you have to think about why Bopus. The main motivation for Bopus. When we started working on this problem in partnership with Ron, and we went to all the major retailers, and especially the ones where we eventually put a lot of this technology in place, the big stores. The problem they were solving was, as I said before, consumers hate to wait. And the customer experience, because they already had Bopus. You could go online from, 10 years ago, you could go online, make a purchase, go to the store, you would walk to the back of the store, sit at the customer service desk. A tired associate was being paid $11 an hour or $7 an hour, would go to the back room, find your purchase. It would take 35, 40 minutes. It was a horrible experience. And so the first application of robotic technology, like the pickup tower or pack robot and lockers, was to improve that experience. And so we wound up putting these technologies literally in the front of the store, like a self-checkout counter. And as you saw, Rasmus did the demo for you. It takes seconds to retrieve your package. Literally, I think the average we got to was like 13 seconds. And so the whole experience for the consumer was dramatically improved from this long waiting time to go instantaneously getting your package. And consumers would, because they would go into the store, they would also maybe buy something else from the store. Now, in the future, as you think more about an omni-channel customer, Bopus is going to evolve to something that's truly omni-channel. In the store, outside the store, in your neighborhood, on your doorstep. All of this has to work seamlessly, where a customer, consumer, can make the choice as to, and the retailer understands the consumer deeply enough and well enough, so they can help the consumer figure out where do they want to buy something from, and where do they want it delivered, where do they want to make a return, how do they want to be serviced. So the future of BOPIS really is using more and more technology to make it more convenient, more speedy, and because of the pandemic, more safe and secure for consumers. I mean, for example, one of the things I know a lot of my friends are looking at is a lot of BOPIS involves touchscreen. Let me tell you, in this day and age, contactless does not mean you have to touch a screen that 20,000 other people have been touching in this week. So the technology to clean the screens, whether it is UV or whatever it is very important when you have touchscreen. Or you use your, I know if I remember right, I don't know if you saw a demo of the Cleveron product where you just use your smartphone. You don't have to touch any screen. You use near field communication, and it knows you're there, and it'll open the locker for you. So BOPIS is going to evolve by itself, but the pandemic is going to come specific opportunities for BOPIS and the technologies involved there.
Okay. You sound like, yes.
I would just to nothing to add actually to Ramesh's let's say wholesome description what's next for BOPIS. I can only provide a summary to that, which equals the same let's say wholesome answer. Is that what next for BOPIS? Then that's Cleveron.
Good. Cleveron is the future of BOPIS. I like that.
Exactly.
Okay. So does Ramesh. So the holidays are coming up. We've got Black Friday pretty soon, and then just the usual holiday chaos. How are retailers who use these parcel machines how are they going to cope with this? Any ideas?
Let me give you a couple of ideas. I think, as Indrek mentioned, the demand for online purchases and then fulfillment of that demand is growing exponentially and will continue to grow exponentially. What is important is to understand each consumer very deeply. And this is something that most of us in this industry don't spend enough time talking about, is when you say an omni-channel customer, it's everything. It's marketing, it's shopping behavior, it's the actual purchase and fulfillment, it's returns, it's refunds, it's customer service overall, but it's a whole relationship. And understanding each of your consumers or customers deeply, because of this whole, it's called a 360 view. Some retailers, and some of the big ones, are actually doing a very good job of building that relationship. For example, Walmart has announced Walmart Plus. Amazon has Amazon Prime. Many other, so the airlines have all these loyalty programs. Every loyalty program or a program that you actually pay a subscription for enables the retailer to understand that customer very deeply. Of course, it raises challenges of getting more data, privacy issues, understanding how to use that data, etc. But as a retailer, I know so much about you that I can predict more about how to serve you better. Like, what do you value? What do you not value? So I think the movement will be more and more toward really deep understanding, real use of big data, AI, analytics, to build a deeper relationship with your customers so you can actually understand how to serve them in a peak period like the shopping season.
Okay, do you agree with this?
Yes, I agree. And peak periods in that sense that, again, let's say that robotics is the solution where you really can handle it, and you can continue to scale up. Let's say that different let's say parameters that also our product owner Rasus explained that with robotics you don't have to, let's say, you can utilize more let's say the cubic meters rather than footprint only, and you can really keep serving each customer even at peak times with a much, let's say, sustainable and the same level when you are, yeah, exactly.
Okay, we have time for one final question. Oh, yes.
I want to add one more thing to that, and that is, in our experience, especially as I've been doing, after retiring, I've been doing this consulting, I'm learning that the whole concept of customers wanting to go online, buy something, pick it up, whether it is at a pack robot or a locker or having it delivered, that culture and behavior changes when you go from a country like Estonia, which is very technologically advanced, to other parts of Western Europe or the US or Asia or the Middle East. In certain countries, for example, the householder will not necessarily go to a locker, but will have an agent or someone doing a servant or service to pick up their purchases for them. In the US, for example, now it's a big deal to go online, buy groceries, and have an Instacart or DoorDash or one of these guys deliver things for you. When we think about BOPIS technology, we are mostly spending our time thinking that the consumer is going to do self-service. I actually think a big piece of what's going to happen in the future is what I call agent service, whether it's a pickup and delivery service or someone who's going to pick up, package, what they call concierge or personal shopper or whatever.
Okay, Ramesh, I'm going to have to cut you off. I'm sorry. We
Sure.
have to get through this very last question. We have about 5 seconds for each of you, just whatever comes to mind. Americans love acronyms. They love acronyms. Can somebody please come up with a better word than BOPIS? Just whatever comes to mind first. 1 word, 2 words. Nothing. BOPIS it is.
Cleverizing.
Indrek, Ramesh, thank you very much. It's been an absolute pleasure talking with you. Thank you very much. And now we are going to go to our next station and learn about grocery robots. No photography. Okay, just bring the video camera. Are you Edith?
Yes, I am.
Awesome. Can you please tell me where we are? What does this room do?
Yes, this is our remote support center. So this is where we monitor all the machines we have all over the world. So if you look at the map, you see the green lights. These are all the machines that are right now live and working, and everything is okay. But when we have an error, we have a red light.
Okay, I think I see a red light right now. How do you fix that?
We used our cameras. If you take a look at to the right, then you can see the inside of the 401, which is a tower of ours. So when we have an error, these gentlemen here, they check the cameras to see what's wrong.
What kinds of problems do you typically have?
Well, normally when there's a problem with a parcel that it's expanded, for example, if you put in a pillow that's in vacuum package, and then the air gets in, then you have a small parcel that was this big, expand to this one.
How do you test reliability of these machines?
Well, normally when we build a new model, like a new robot, we try everything we can to destroy them. We burn them. We dose them in water. We have a fire truck over so that spills water on them.
A fire truck?
A fire truck, yes, exactly. And then we put them in the sauna. So it will...
To make sure they're clean.
Yes, to make sure they're clean. And they can withstand the heat in Dubai.
In Dubai?
In Dubai, yes. We have units in Dubai also.
That is amazing. So we're on our way to the grocery robot. Before we get there, I'd like to remind viewers watching this that if you have any questions, you can start asking them now. And in just a few minutes, we'll go and get some answers from the main stage. So are you Tonel?
Yes, that's me.
Tonel, the grocery robot guy.
Correct.
All right, hi, I'm Stuart. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Stuart.
So before we start anything, I have one question to ask you. Can you put ice cream in this?
Yes, you can.
How much?
A lot.
How much is a lot?
Well, the blue ones here, the crates, you can fill 30 crates packed with ice cream.
30 crates packed with ice cream in one robot?
Yes, in here.
And how, is this just like a small robot or is it your biggest one?
This is the medium one. Well,
the medium?
The small one. We have a double the size as well.
Okay. So what can you tell me, what would you like to tell me about this robot, how it works? Or?
Yeah, we'll see how it works as well.
Okay.
But first, let's get into character. I would like you to imagine that you're a CEO of a big grocery retailer.
Okay.
And if you think about the current market, which is booming. I mean,
for obvious reasons.
Yeah, obviously it's been growing, but this here it's been supercharged, and you know, growth is fun. You're happy, the board is happy.
Of course.
But it comes with challenges, and the challenge is that how to be more efficient, keep the costs down, keep the customers happy and loyal.
Customers happy, yeah, that's important too.
And one of the keys here, obviously, is automation, and that's what the 501 is for.
Okay, so this is called the 501.
Yes, Cleveron 501.
Do you have like an easier name to remember it by, or?
It's grocery robot.
Just the grocery robot.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what do we do with it?
Okay. Well, I do have a couple of orders prepared here.
Okay.
Customer order stuff. First, you're still the CEO. I will act as a courier.
As a courier.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm here to put the orders in. First, what I do, I will select the language, and then I have my own secret PIN code. Not too complicated. And here in the current menu, what I can do, I can enable the fast loading mode because it's faster. I can close the doors there. You can feel that it's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, I can feel the. Oh, it's chilly.
Yeah. So how it works is that first it brings me an empty one. It's empty. I can just take it out, put it there. And if I take a new one, it has the label on it. So that's a custom order. I will scan it, put it inside the console. Let's see, this goes to the freezer zone. So that's minus 18 there.
Okay, that's pretty cold.
This freezing there. Take another one now. Let's do another one. Again, the same process. You'll take the crate, scan it, put it inside. Let's see, this goes to normal. And off it goes.
It's that simple.
It's really simple.
Okay, so all we have to do is close the doors, I guess?
Yeah.
Let's
let it be. Quick, right?
Yeah, that's very fast.
Yeah, so that's the time-saving part for you as the CEO. The other point is, in the current climate, I would think expansion.
Right.
How to get closer to the customers.
What do you have in mind?
Well, think if you need to build a store or 100 new stores.
That gets pretty expensive.
It is, yeah, and it takes time.
It takes a lot of time.
Yeah, but I mean, everybody has a phone. Everybody can access your website, like regardless where they live. So placing such pickup points in a location where it makes the most sense, close to neighborhoods, transportation hubs.
Are you saying that we could put one of these grocery robots in my front yard?
If you like to, yeah.
Ice cream at home.
Yes.
I like that.
So that's the idea here. But yeah, we can now flip the script.
Okay.
You're done with the CEO part. Sorry. But
okay.
Now you're the everyday dude, Stuart.
So I'm just Stewie from Family Guy, something like that.
But yeah, Stu, but you ordered something from online.
I did.
Yeah, and we just put it in actually.
I didn't pay attention. What was it?
Cool. We will see right away. And the IT stuff did their magic. The information sent to cloud. So Stu, did you get a text?
Let me check.
Yeah.
I did.
Perfect.
So I just press the language button, scan, and it's that fast.
Yeah, it off it goes.
Okay.
What do you think you got?
I don't know.
We'll see.
Yeah?
It's
something has just arrived. Let's see what it is. Ice cream.
Nice.
Well, we're going to go back to the main stage and answer any questions that have been sent our way. So see you in a moment. You ready?
Yep.
Okay.
Let's go.
So here we are back on the main stage once again for more questions and more answers. Tanel, thank you for the demo with the grocery robot. We have a question already. Where are these robots already used?
Already used, okay. There's multiple robots already used in Estonia.
In Estonia?
Yeah. That's where we started out with the initial pilots due to the pandemic. Mm-hmm. But we already have a few other units live across Europe.
Have they been successful? And popular?
Well, there's a couple of really good examples when the volumes are really good.
Okay.
So the unit gets a lot of usage. We are present in Dubai as well.
Dubai?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess you need one of the freezer lockers to operate there.
Yeah, and it's it's keeping the temperature there.
Yeah.
So it's cool. Then we just installed one in Oceania.
So like Australia, New Zealand.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we have a couple coming up in North America and Europe and.
Okay. The next question is, how is the 501 different from a grocery locker?
A good question. Well, first thing is that everything goes into the machine from the one portal, just like the 400 series. You don't have these different doors to operate, and then customers pick it up from the same area as well. Capacity-wise, I mean, the unit we just saw can fit 126 crates. Just to have the lockers that size, that's a lot of wall space. So it's goes up to length.
Okay. Is the customer able to choose the size of the freezer zone?
It's somewhat configurable. The standard one is that it's 25% freezer, 75% chilled. There's different options they can choose from. But it comes down to food safety because we're dealing with food. Safety, hygiene is the critical one. So first, whatever we can offer, we need to thoroughly test in-house. We need to certify to different standards just to make sure that it keeps the temperature in check as it should be. So if you change the zones, it will change a lot of different parameters. We need to check first.
Okay. Another question, and this one's pretty actually interesting. So these robots operate outdoors primarily. Is it possible to operate them indoors?
Well, try to get one inside.
You need a robot to pick it up and go? No.
Well, I mean, this is huge. I mean, it weighs around 5.5 tons. But it's doable. You just need to make sure that there's sufficient ventilation. It doesn't make too much noise inside, vibration. So there's a lot of things to consider. Doable, but it's mainly for outdoor use.
Most larger retailers have large warehouse doors anyway, so getting it inside shouldn't be too much of a problem. How does the machine tell you when it is at capacity? It's full, you can't put anything else in there?
Well, the worst case scenario is that when a courier finds it out on site. That's not good. But how it should be handled is beforehand. So whenever someone deploys the unit, and I have their website ready to collect orders from the customers and have them customers come and pick it up from the unit, they need to limit the amount of orders they can have for that time slot for that location. So that shouldn't even happen.
Okay. The next question is, does it need a landline data connection?
It doesn't. It can work on 4G as well.
4G, what about Wi-Fi?
Wi-Fi might not be the best solution because we're primarily, again, outside. So you have Wi-Fi inside the store. It usually isn't too great outside of the store.
Okay, that's a very good point. Do you need to change crates as an operator, or can you work with fixed crates?
Both ways.
Both ways.
The most common is that crates are in constant rotational use. But in some cases we have as well that the crates are stationary, and whenever the associates or the couriers approach the unit, they just pick the items from whatever there's the van or the dolly with crates and lift them to that unit.
Okay. Another question is, does the operator need to fill it in as a freezer or a regular order, or can this just be digitalized?
Yeah. Through the integrations with the operators, they can actually pre-send that information. So when I showed you how it works, we chose that, okay, let's put this one here. When that information already pre-sent, the operator doesn't need to make that decision. It's already there.
Okay, well, Tano, thank you very much. I'd like to add once again that we will do follow-up for any additional questions that we did not get to so far. And now let's go take a look at Cleveron's augmented reality program. So now we're going to see the most popular product, the grocery robot, and see how it's put together. Hi.
Hi.
This is the grocery robot.
Exactly.
Okay, let's say that I've bought one of these. What do I need to do next?
You need to get it delivered, and then you need to get it installed.
Well, how does it get delivered? Like in one of your parcel machines?
No, unfortunately not.
It won't fit?
No, it won't fit. But it's shipped as a shipping container.
Okay.
So you can deliver it by land or sea.
And then what?
Then you need to get it installed by trained technicians.
So these technicians would come from your partners?
Exactly. They will be trained by online, and then they can use the augmented reality application.
Okay, can you show me how this works?
Yes. You can see the 3D model of the machine, and it's laid on the real world image.
So I can see inside the machine via this?
Yes, and here are the instructions, what the technician needs to do.
Can I try it?
Yes, you can try it.
All right, what do I do?
Get this plate.
Okay.
And get it installed as the animation shows you.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
That's simple enough.
Yes, now you have the panel installed. Now you need to continue the next parts, and you can do all the machine by using the augmented reality.
All right, well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Here we are back on the main stage. We've finished most of our tour today, basically all of it. I know that I have learned a lot about what happens here at Cleveron. I hope you have too. I hope you've enjoyed it. And I would just like to invite back to the stage one last time, Mikael, please come back. So what can you tell me about Cleveron's future plans?
Stuart, we have great big plans for the future. We have a number of products coming out. There are products big and small. Let's put it this way. So first of all, I'll talk to you about Cleveron 405. It's the smallest robot to date. So it's designed for convenience spaces where the floor space is very expensive. You can use it also in supermarkets to hand over expensive goods. You can use it in shopping malls in general as a pickup, return, or then send station. Or then you can use it also in office buildings, so like a mailroom service. So it's small. You can see here that it's in its life size, but we can make it taller. We can shrink it even more if necessary for the clients. And this small machine can actually store from 100 to 300 parcels on average. So the capacity is really high.
That is good capacity. So the machine is completely customizable in terms of size?
In a sense, yes. We want to make it as easily integratable into our customers' environment as possible. So we are currently just launching a couple of pilot projects. We hope to get the learnings from the field and from the end users back early next year, and then we are gearing up for mass production of this unit.
All right.
But that is not all. There's also Cleveron 102. That's an add-on product. This product turns our other products into self-service stores.
It looks like a giant iPhone.
Indeed. We really want our products to look good as well, as you imagine. But basically, this product helps you to expand your business. You can set up your stores somewhere where you couldn't do that before. You can expand your business. And also for the end user, the main thing here is the convenience, how you can quickly select, browse, pay, and pick up your goods from the robotic product behind it. Also,
there's more.
There's more. You saw earlier our Cleveron 501, which is a product designed for pickup of grocery products. Grocery industry and online grocery is really growing very quickly. All the statistics show that. And of course, the pandemic pushes it along as well. So we see that. We hear what our customers are telling us, and we are bringing out new products on the grocery front as well. Can't talk too much about these things right now, but next year will be a very busy and interesting year for us and for our customers as well.
Well, I know that I'm really looking forward to it all. Can you tell me anything about the people who are actually behind this?
Yes, of course. We have Arno Kütt. Arno is our CEO, founder as well, and visionary. He helps us to bring these things together. In addition to Arno, we have Ott Pavut, who is our technology guy who looks after our hardware. So basically, with our hardware, we hand over these parcels. So it's very important to design it very well and make it last for ages. In addition to hardware, of course, you need software. It's like every person has a soul, so does our products. They have software. Here is Jaagup Saare. He's our guy who looks after all the software stuff and all the integrations with the client softwares. We have hardware, software, and now we need to bring all these things together and package well. We have Ain Põder, who is our head of supply chain. He makes sure that all these things come together. They are built, the products are built in a very good way with high quality, and he makes sure that the products arrive on site on time. As the last person who I want to introduce to you, it's Indrek Oolup. Indrek is one of the founders of the company as well, and he leads the business development side. So all the clients that we have, they get to talk to Indrek. Indrek helps them with our sales team to find the perfect product for their specific needs and environment. So this is our leadership team. In addition to these guys, we have a bunch of very clever people in our teams who are supporting and bringing all these exciting products together.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Mikael. That brings us to the end of our program this evening. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've learned as much as I have about Cleveron. Now, if you have any questions that were not answered during the question and answer session, I can guarantee you that all answers will be provided on the event page for this evening. If you have any additional questions, these guys know what they're doing. Feel free to contact these ladies and some gentlemen over here. At any time you have any questions, they will gladly answer it. That's all. Stay safe, stay clever. On.